day 23. Wow. What are we doing today?
We are going to wrap presents and answer questions.
Okay. Where are we wrapping presents?
At the rec center at the campground. Because I need a lot of space.
Yeah.
And those of you who live in a house, you probably have a little room or a closet where you keep presents that you accumulate over the months leading up to Christmas. I did when I had a house. That's our van.
Yeah, you want to see our room?
This is our extra Christmas present room.
All right, so we're going to go inside, grab a table, and hopefully it's quiet enough to record. We have some questions from y'all.
Yes.
And we'll answer those while we wrap.
Here we go.
Or while you wrap.
When everyone's around to share this holiday. Yes, it's a time of happiness, a time of joy, but now this year is twice as special, cause I'm hoping for us to
It's going to be noisy. Sorry.
Yeah, there's stuff going on.
Yeah. I'm sure the thump, thump, thump. That is not, in fact, a nightclub at 9:30 in the morning.
No, it's...
That is Zumba?
It's just an
Something?
aerobics.
It's an aerobics thing on the other side of that wall.
So do we want to be at this table or do you want to be at the back table?
Let's go ahead and go to the back table.
Okay. This is the poker room. So there's a tree in every one of these rooms. This one's decorated as good hands.
It's gonna be for speed rapping.
Yes. Here to do aerobic rapping.
That's right. Oh gosh. Is that like making a bed in an RV?
It could be. It could very well be.
I know there's gonna be wrapping paper noise,
Yeah.
but everything else we gotta try.
Chair.
This was the best idea ever.
Hold on. Too much noise.
So the noise wouldn't matter if we weren't trying to like.
It's an ASMR video. All the noises.
Yeah, there's so many ASMR videos of chairs scratching around on the ground.
Okay, at least it's not a side-to-side noise. This
mine-
chair is not as comfortable, though.
It's not squeaky.
That's okay.
Um,
Sorry, I'm done now.
so it wouldn't be as big of a deal if we weren't trying to like record.
Answer questions
So,
and that kind of stuff.
Okay, so Aaron's gonna get started. I don't think I'm gonna be here for all of the wrapping.
I've got you your own tape and your own scissors.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now, there are gonna be too many issues if I try to wrap things. You see that face? She's laughing now, but that'll be evil face if I start wrapping things. So I am here for Q's and A's, and then I am gonna have to get back home.
Okay.
So, these questions we compiled over the last few episodes of Vlogmas, and they are in no particular order.
This is just
Aaron's
going to be a
just trying-
noisy
this
video.
This is the noisiest video.
Go ahead.
So in no particular order, I grabbed names and questions. So if you're in here, congrats. If
Thanks
not,
for asking us a question.
if not, keep asking questions because we'll keep answering things. Just to throw this out there, because we have talked about doing a Q&A video, which is this, and also doing what we're calling our January 1 video. The January 1 video is more about our history as RVers, where we want to go and see and do things in the future, and specifically next year in 2022. So there were some questions that fit into that really well, but that's not going to be a Q&A episode. That was more like a make sure these are topics we hit. These questions, there's going to have to be cutting and wrapping and folding, and we'll see how loud that was. So these questions are a little more just like quick questions, right? It's not.
Oh, yeah. These are not like in-depth.
So the January 1 video is, if you guys have been watching us for a while, you're going to hear a lot of the same things again. But if you haven't been watching us for a while, if you've only watched like tips and tricks videos, if you are new to the channel, that is going to be like a full reintroduction.
And there may be some vintage photographs and or videos of us.
Oh, like us skinny at our wedding?
Yeah, us at our wedding, maybe some from before our wedding, when we were like just dating. So if you're interested to see what Brian and Aaron looked like 20 years ago, or at least 18 years ago.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah, it's a long time.
It's almost 20 years ago though.
I mean,
2022, we met the year I turned 21. We met
In 2023 or 2003.
2003, yeah.
Yeah. It's been a long time.
Okay, so anyway, that'll be January 1 video. So in no particular order, these are just how I found them on YouTube. Catherine Schroeder has asked, do the kids miss having their own rooms? I'm going to go huge no on that one. Tara?
You go ahead and do your no, and then I will follow up. Thank you for your help.
I have
do anything with that.
Don't do anything with that, okay. So I say no, because when we have spent time in houses, like when we were in the house in Colorado and when we've been in friends' houses and hotels and stuff like that, we try and give the kids their own spaces, and they end up all in the same bed, piled on top of each other, wanting to hang out together, wanting to sleep together, like, because it's what they're used to.
Let me not do that.
Oh, is it vacuum sealed?
It's vacuum sealed.
Yeah. So I don't think they miss having their own rooms. However, Tara's a tween now,
Yes.
and she's a tween girl, and
Yes.
she's starting to get
So-
to that age.
We stayed in like an Airbnb in September because we were getting some stuff done and we needed to be in a house.
Well, we wanted to be.
Well, yeah. So we spent 3 weeks in September in a house. And Tara had her own room and she loved it.
How many times did I go upstairs and see Brooke laying in the room?
Oh yeah, I mean, and to the littles, they each had their own room too.
But they
But
stayed
Ben
together.
slept in her room every night. There was bunk beds and stuff. Ben slept in her room every night, and they just like to be together.
Yep.
Tara kind of does have her own room in the RV, so it hasn't been a huge issue.
Yeah, the drop-down bed, she has all of her own little storage space around it.
And the littles don't go up there.
They're kind of not allowed up there.
Right.
And,
So she has a place to escape. Those curtains close, and she can kind of be on her phone or on her laptop or whatever.
And she does monopolize bathrooms.
Thank God we have 2 bathrooms.
Well, a bath and a half. She will disappear into the half bath and do like
Face
masks and
or
makeup, and that's
try
where she
new
changes
makeup
and-
on, and
Yeah, so she's figured out her own way to kind of escape. But I think overall, I don't think it's an issue.
No, I don't think it's an issue.
No. But because we've been doing it for so long that, it's not like even before we were RVing, they were all kind of in the same space. Like we had.
That's one of the reasons we left.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later on January 1st.
All right, so thank you, Catherine, for that question.
Yeah.
Next up is a question that we got from 2 people, Christina Carpenter and Karen Morris. Are you thinking about getting a different RV since the kids are getting bigger? So that's kind of like a part 2 to the other question.
And I feel like Brian and I have different answers on this.
Well, they're for different reasons.
They are.
Mine is purely financial.
Yes.
Because the market right now is insane. Ask me again in another year or a year and a half, because the pandemic made RVing just explode. And as you guys know, if you're looking for anything new, trucks are crazy expensive. RVs, MSRP is the base price now, where before 30% under MSRP is where you started negotiations. So, that's one president down. One present. So would we like something bigger? Sure. Is now the time to do it? No.
What is the thing that you want that's bigger? Or are we going to save that for?
I really like having a motorhome.
Yes. So I think motorhome is the way we're going to go. We've gone back and forth about talking about what we want to do in the future, and we looked at what some of the fifth wheels had to offer. I don't think that we're toy hauler people.
No.
And converting that kind of stuff, that's not the way I'd want to go. But there is a fifth wheel that we would like to go and see, and hopefully it's going to be at the Tampa show.
It's the 390 DS, the
Yeah.
Avalanche,
No,
maybe? Something?
no.
It's a
But-
390 DS. If you search for 390 DS, it's the only one that has that model number.
Right, and it has
Yeah.
like 2 queen size rooms, and then
Yeah.
it has like a loft over the back
That's
that's
like
huge, and
3
it's like
feet
three
tall.
and a half feet tall. Like
Yeah.
it's a pretty cool
Yeah.
looking thing.
The DS is dual suite because the room in the back has its own full bath.
Right.
So something like that would be great. I have no idea where I would work in there though.
Yeah, I know. So then I was thinking, when we win the lottery, that we would just buy a Fleetwood Discovery LXE, the longest thing with the 2 bunkhouses and the not the 2 bunkhouses, the 2 bunks, and then the drop down over like Tara has now. That would be what I would really, really love. But they're around, I don't know, $500,000, so not really in our budget right now. But if Fleetwood would like to give us one to travel around, and even an older one, I'm fine with that, you know, if you're listening.
No. But on the other side of that, we really do enjoy having a small vehicle to travel around around in with. I don't know why I couldn't say that. So the black car was great. The C-Max was great. And it sounds like another RVer in South Carolina is buying that from the Jeep dealership.
Oh, great.
Yeah, they're buying it to flat tow because they called me and asked about like what the tow stuff was on it and how it flat tows and if it can and all that. So that's great. So that's going to another RVer. But now we have the Jeep, and
So nice.
It's going to be hard to make me get rid of that, so I don't think it's going to happen.
So, yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
So the other issue is, you know, any fifth wheel that we end up with, it's going to require a dually, and cost aside, it's just really big, and you continue to get awful gas mileage when you're not towing, and it's just there's a lot to it.
reasons.
And motorhomes are so much easier, guys. Like,
Sorry, this part's always going to be
that's
loud.
probably going to be the loudest thing we do
Yeah.
all day. Yeah, motorhomes really, they're easy mode, because I can be in a site, completely level, and have my slides open and be ready to go in the amount of time it took us just to level the trailer
Oh my gosh.
before.
Yeah.
And we were really good at leveling the trailer.
were.
Like, it's not because we were slow. Like, we had that down because we moved 138 times. So yeah,
I like how you just pull that number out.
I don't know why that number stuck in my head, but that's
Can
how
someone
many
just
times.
fact check that for me?
Yeah, so different RV in the future?
Possibly.
Possibly. Near
Do we
future?
need to?
No.
No.
Do we need it? Yeah, we don't need it.
We don't need it.
Okay, good question. Next one. Leanne Goodall, do you have any favorite hobbies?
I mean, yes, but I don't get to do it very often.
Singing?
Singing.
Yeah. Erin
I
is-
love to sing. I love to sing. I've sang almost all my life with my church choir and been a soloist at church, and I absolutely love that. Some of my bestest friends and most wonderful memories are singing in the church, and it's hard when we move a lot, even just kind of here, because we move to so many different areas of this place. Like right now, we're 25 minutes to the closest church that I could sing at, and then when we move again, we're like 10 minutes, but that one has weird hours, and there's...
And then you'd be 45 minutes from
the
one here. And
It's
yeah.
not doable. It's not as convenient as it used to be.
Right.
And then I used to sing too with like the Virginia Chorale and like not connected to the church as well, and I really enjoyed that. But those are like year-long commitments. Like you start right after summer,
Yeah.
and go and have your concert in the spring, kind of thing. And we're
Erin
not
went to school
here.
for singing.
I
by the way.
did.
She went to Virginia Tech
I did.
for performance.
Vocal performance.
Vocal performance. There you
I
go.
did.
Hobbies for me, it's probably painfully obvious what I'm into.
What are you into, honey?
I like video games.
Video games.
Games,
Like
movies,
those?
television, entertainment, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Before RV life, I was getting into 3D printing.
Yeah.
Did a lot of stuff with that. We had a weekly D&D game at our house. We had a monthly board game night at our house, like a potluck, with food themes and all that.
I miss those.
Yeah, those were great.
I miss those people too. I love
yeah.
you guys if you're watching.
Yep. So that's really mainly what I'm into is entertainment.
Entertainment.
Right? Yeah, I mean it's hard to have like the 3D printing stuff. There's someone in our Discord who completely built like a workstation for 3D printers
Oh,
and
yeah,
laser
so
cutting and
cool.
stuff in their RV. I'm pretty sure they're not traveling with kids though, because
No.
you just don't have the space for that unless you commit to having the space for that. And
Yeah.
everyone I know that has like a really cool workspace like that, there are no kids in the equation.
Or they have like a 50-foot rig.
I think it's 67 feet.
Oh, is it 67
I
feet?
think so. We'll find out next month.
And it's like a quad axle or something.
It's 5 axles.
5
Yes,
axles.
it's 5 axles. And you gotta support the helipad on top.
Okay.
If you're on Discord, you know what we're talking about.
do?
If not, you'll find out next month.
Yeah, and you need to get on Discord so you can be in behind the scenes.
All right. Next question is from this real weird dude up north, Mike Farrell. Mike
Brian.
Farrell. Mike Farrell. One of our Roadrunners.
Yes.
Super fun guy. Mike and Lori are awesome.
You saw them if you've been watching. They did one of the
outros.
traditions
Yeah.
with the scavenger hunt.
Yeah, they were the very first one I put in one of the videos. They're very Canadian. They're very lovely. We actually visited them this past summer. We visited them when we were in Michigan.
Across the lake.
Yeah, we were in Michigan. We went up to Port Huron, and border was still closed. I don't know what the border is doing right now, but it was definitely closed back in June. Yeah,
That
June.
it was June, yeah.
And so we went to Port Huron, and they live about an hour on the other side of that. So they came to Port Huron on the Canada side. We went on the American side, and then we just waved from
We
across
waved
the
and
river.
FaceTimed, and it was wonderful.
So anyway, Mike's question. Where have you traveled internationally in the past, and where do you want to go in the future?
Ooh, great question.
So, in the past, let's just kind of go chronologically. You went to France
I
in
went
high
to
school.
France my junior year of high school.
Yep, that was like a normal school trip,
Yeah,
right?
with the French class. Like
Yeah.
we were in the last year of French.
Yep, and I was never involved in any clubs like that in school, so I never went anywhere internationally until we went to Ireland.
Right. My mother, in her last year of life, decided that she would take my brother and I anywhere we wanted to go, and Ireland was the place we all wanted to go. And then she asked if we wanted to bring our spouses with us, and we did, so we could kind of remember our time with her together, and kind of share all of those memories. And so she took all four of us and herself to Ireland for 12 days?
Like, yeah, 10 nights, something?
10 or 12 days.
It was a long flight, so that kind of messed it up.
It was. And we went all over Ireland, and it was an amazing trip.
It was. Ireland's gorgeous. We need to get back.
So that's your only
Not counting
flying
Canada.
international
That's the only flying
space.
international I've ever done.
We've
Yep.
been to Canada.
Before Ireland, you went to China.
Oh, I did. So
Forgot about that, 2008.
I went to. We did a tour with the choir director for my church. Also taught at one of the Catholic high schools in Williamsburg, and she was taking her group to China to kind of do a pre-Olympic tour and sing and perform in three different parts of China, and she invited me to come along with them. So we went and we sang in Beijing and Shanghai and Xi'an, where the terracotta soldiers are, and we sang at the Great Wall of China. Very, very cool place to go.
Yep. So China, then Ireland, and then in our lap around the country back in 2018, we popped up into Canada.
We did.
Went to Vancouver, went to the aquarium, and drove around and saw the super expensive cars, and then the rundown houses one street over.
Yeah.
Vancouver's very strange. Cool
It's
place,
beautiful.
but I think we're going to be going back next year.
We are. We're going to explore some different things.
And then where would we like to go in the future? High on our list, of course, is New Zealand, because we're Lord of the Rings nerds.
Yes, we talked about that in one of our.
We did.
Whatchamacallit
And then
things.
also, just to kind of rapid fire some stuff, Iceland.
Oh yeah, Iceland and Norway.
And one of our Roadrunners, I think, just left for Iceland. But she couldn't officially tell us because it
No.
was a government thing. But she studies volcanoes and geological activity.
Iceland's lousy with
And,
that.
and she said there's stuff going on in Iceland, so that's probably where she was sent. So we talked to her Sunday night during the Secret Santa, so
Yep.
hopefully she's having fun there. But Iceland's just gorgeous.
Yep.
We have also talked about doing kind of a cross-Europe trip where we would fly into Norway and rent something. I don't know if we would do an RV or if we would just kind of Airbnb our way across. but
It
we
would probably be Airbnbs in like a
Like a-
Class C.
You mean a C or a B, like a van? So we could stop for the night if we had to, but that wouldn't be the ideal.
We'll have to investigate
know,
that.
yeah.
That's in the works. I would love to do that like 2024. We kind of already have a rough plan for 2023.
Right.
And
And that's not international.
No, but I think that I would like to do maybe like 6 months. I think that's as long as we can go. We'll do like a 6-month
like with
tour
a
of
visa or something?
Northwestern Europe.
So we talked about flying into, I think it was flying into Norway,
Mm-hmm.
and then kind of going up and around and hitting Poland? Finland. I am
Finland?
really bad with geography. Which
Finland?
one's next to Norway?
Finland.
Is it? Okay. So hitting all that stuff up there and then coming down across the mainland and eventually ending up in Italy, I think, and then
Yeah.
flying back out. So that would be, obviously that's like super expensive and
Yeah, that takes a lot of planning.
a lot of planning. Yeah, so.
So
But
we'll start that
that's
next
kinda,
year.
That's what we would really
We'd
like to do. If we were able to just do it.
Yeah.
But obviously, like I can't work from there.
Right.
And it's,
We
there's
have
a
to
lot
be
of
very
issues.
realistic when we think about things like that. So,
But if this YouTube thing keeps going, then maybe.
yeah.
Okay, next up, not an actual, maybe an actual name. It looks like initials. J.M. Prues, P-R-U-E-S. Not sure. How far in advance do you plan your travel?
Depends.
It depends a lot.
If we are traveling with other people, like last summer, we invited our roadrunners to join us.
Mm-hmm.
We planned, we left the beginning of June, and we had planned everything at like Valentine's Day.
Yeah, that weekend.
So that one wasn't as far in advance because it's still, this summer was still kind of pandemic-y,
Yeah.
and there weren't as many people like traveling as much as we were planning on doing, I think. So it made it a little bit easier. This year, we started planning 2 months ago.
Yeah. It depends heavily on where we're going and what time of year. Because we are going to
Yes.
Utah, which is busy if there's not snow on the ground. So
Right.
we're going to be there kind of at the beginning of spring break season. So we wanted to get those reservations in because you don't have a ton to pick from. So and then you've got spring break, you've got Jeep weeks, you've got all sorts of stuff that happens, and then the summer crowds show up, and it's just, Utah can get messy. So we missed it last time. We wanted to make sure we weren't going to miss it this time.
Right.
So we made sure to book that as far out as we could.
We probably won't book our August and September return to
No,
Florida. We're just going to kind of
that.
wing that.
Yeah, yeah. So it depends a lot on when and where, because you'll kind of find that out if you plan stuff like Michigan over the summer. Can get a little tight because it's
Yeah.
a very popular place. Florida in the winter, good luck. Next question, super easy, quick one from Carol Vieira. I hope I said that right. There's a couple I's in there. Where are you from and how long have you been married?
Oh, that's
are-
a nice question.
We are both military brats from Virginia primarily.
Brian is more of a military brat than me, though.
We moved around a little bit, but it was nowhere fun. Like my dad had the chance to like go to Germany, and he chose Quantico.
Oh, I have that too.
Yeah, same thing with her. She had Air Force parents. My dad was in the Marine Corps.
Yep.
So I was born in Maryland. I've lived in Maryland, North Carolina, and Virginia, and that's it. So the most boring military brat ever.
My parents were both in the reserves, the Air Force Reserves, and so when they were pregnant with me, they had the choice to go to London or to go to Hampton, Virginia, and they chose Hampton, Virginia. But that's where Air Combat Command is. So they went there, and we didn't move around. I stayed in the same. I graduated high school with the kids I went to preschool with.
Right. Yep.
So
Which is strange to me.
yeah.
Longest we ever lived somewhere was 5 years, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we're from Virginia.
Yes, I am from
Mid-Atlantic.
like the Hampton Roads area, like Williamsburg, Newport News.
And I went to middle school and high school in Leesburg, Virginia, Northern Virginia. So I kind of consider that to be
Yeah,
home.
absolutely.
This is where I was for middle school and high school.
Right. And we have been married for more than 15 and a half years. We got married in, we got married
2006.
May 20th, 2006.
She has trouble with that date sometimes.
I do. There's lots of twos and zeros, and it's the 5th month, and sometimes I forget.
Yeah,
That's fine.
so we've been married for 15 years, 16 next year. All right, Krista Bunnett wants to know would like to know about homeschooling, what systems, programs, how long does it take each day, etc.
Okay.
Now, we don't actually do homeschooling.
They do school from home, though.
They do. They do digital school through Florida Virtual School because we are residents of Florida, and Florida has a very robust and very easy to use system called FLVS, Florida Virtual School. And it basically, they log in 4 days a week, not right now because it's holiday break, but they log in 4 days a week. They have classes with actual teachers on Zoom. They have actual subjects, like Tara goes from subject to subject, and she has a
Tara like
list of-
changes classes.
Yeah.
She has 6 different teachers.
Yeah, but there's no like time panic to like get to the locker and switch your books out.
No.
Get
No,
to your next class. So
And
they do that, yeah.
Her in middle school and high school differ from the elementary school. So like Tara has a schedule, and like Monday she has class at 10:30 and 1 o'clock, and then on Tuesday she has like a different schedule. Every day it's different with those different teachers. Brooke and Ben are in elementary school. They're in kindergarten and second grade. They get on, they do the morning announcements, and then they are with their teacher, just like you would be in elementary school.
Right.
Ben has a kindergarten teacher. Miss Johnson, she is the most kindergarten teacher ever. She is amazing and wonderful and so happy and upbeat. Brooke does the same thing. Mr. Decker, she's so excited she has a boy teacher. So she says, I have a boy teacher. And they do 2 hours for 3 days a week. On 1 day a week, they have specials or electives or whatever. So they do art, or Brooke does art and Spanish, and Ben does PE and Spanish, but he's switching to art for the second semester. So it's a little bit different, but it's a wonderful program. It is a public school online. So any type of services that you would get through the public school, whether you have an IEP through special education, you get those services. There's special ed teachers, there's speech pathologists, there's OTs and PTs, all kinds of stuff like that. And then with Tara, these are the kind of things people want to know about homeschooling and stuff, though. And Tara is in the gifted program. She tested into that back in second grade, and they've just followed that along. So she has an education plan for gifted, and she has a gifted teacher that follows up with her and helps her meet her goals. And all of those sorts of things you can get through this Florida Virtual School program. You might be wondering, at the school, the state that you are in, more than likely has a virtual school that has nothing to do with the pandemic, has nothing to do with being out for COVID or anything like that. They've probably had it for years, and it just wasn't utilized as much as it was during the pandemic. And so,
Yeah, because
if you're interested in it, check it out.
If you're sitting there thinking, if it runs like a train wreck, like a lot of schools did, like when everything shut down in 2020, and everybody all of a sudden had to do online schools. There was a lot of challenges across the board. Every state, everyone we knew, there were issues all over the place.
And for those of you who don't know, I used to be a teacher before I was in real estate. So.
But this Florida Virtual School program has been around for like 12 years or something.
Yeah.
So these people, that is all they ever do. They've only done online stuff. Their curriculum is all based on doing it all online. So it is nothing like all of the send kids home because of the pandemic and try and continue education online. It's nothing like that at all. It is very well run.
Yes.
So, all right. Next one is a question we get a lot, especially over Vlogmas, because I keep saying that I've had busy days or had to stop recording to do work stuff. So Connie Johnson, Brooke Fernandez, and a bunch of others. What does Brian do for work? Brian is a
Are you
IT
in the third
analyst.
person?
I'm going to wait for the
Sorry.
cutting to stop.
Sorry.
I do remote IT work for a large retail chain, a nationwide retail chain. So I support people remotely with a bunch of remote desktop apps, and that's it. I mean, it's really not glamorous, but it pays the bills.
Hey, it does pay the bills, and we are very, very thankful for it.
And I can do it from anywhere. That's the key.
Yes. But he does have to be available. He does
Yeah.
take phone calls. He sits in meetings all day.
Yep.
Like, it's a great job, and we're very happy that he has it.
So next up, this one. Some of these other ones have gone really, really long, so we need to be a little quick on this one.
Sorry. I like
So, because
answering
I think
questions.
it's up to like 40 minutes of record time now. This is never going to upload today. Shauna Mackey asks, what got you started in RVing? And question number 2 is a super quick answer. Is it expensive?
Okay. What
Let's
got us
answer-
started, if
well-
you want the long answer, go to day like 4.
Oh, the
And we
questions
talk
answered
about
one.
it. We talk about it there with the 8
Yeah.
questions about why we
Vlogmas.
started on Vlogmas.
Vlogmas Day 4, not the 4th episode.
No. Vlogmas Day 4. But really, we just needed a change, and this was our change that we needed to have.
Yep.
Is it expensive? Yes.
Yes.
This is not.
Can it be cheaper than living in a house? Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you want to know more about that, all I can say is jump on Discord.
Yeah, jump on Discord and ask that question, because then
yeah.
you can get answers from a bunch of different people and different people that live differently than we do.
Yeah, because we know,
So-
like us, we primarily are 1,000 Trails users. Like, I mean, we're in one right now. And by the time we leave here, it will be more than 800 nights and 1,000 trails. So we've saved a lot of money that way.
Yeah.
Our motorhome is not the most expensive thing on the road. It costs way less than we were paying in rent in Colorado.
In Colorado, yeah.
And then, so there are ways to make it cheaper, but the more you travel, like over the summer, we're going to be paying for a lot of gas.
Yep.
And y'all know gas is getting up there. It's slacked off a little bit, but it's going to be expensive. So the more you move.
And there's not 1,000 trails everywhere where we're
Right.
going either, too.
So the more you move, the more expensive it gets.
Yes.
If you can stay in one place and you can just get monthly sites or seasonal sites, the price goes way down.
Yep. So there's lots of different ways to do it. If you're questioning it, please jump on Discord,
Yeah.
ask your question. You can get, like I said, answers from lots of different types of full-timers and RVers.
We have some big rollers that spend a lot of money while RVing, and we have some that boondock as much as they can
Yeah.
and have really tight budgets for big family traveling around the country.
And
So,
they all must enjoy it because they've been
Yeah.
doing it for years.
yeah,
So
it's all over the place. And also, if you want to know more about homeschooling, that's not just, hey, our kids do virtual school. There's a lot of discussion
Yes.
about homeschooling Discord as well.
in the
So,
Family Circle channel,
Yeah.
come and join us there too.
Yep. Next up, Wandering Star. I'm excited to know what your upcoming plans are. Well,
Stay tuned.
well, there's
Upcoming right now.
There's Stay Tuned, and there's also the Roadrunners now.
The Roadrunners, you know, you
So,
could join Roadrunners and
That's the kind of one of the biggest perks about becoming a Roadrunner is you get access to all of our plans.
yeah, we're
and
not
you can
trying to
join
sell
us.
you on being
No,
a
I mean,
Roadrunner. Join or
two-
not.
It's $2 a month
Either way.
to start. I mean, it's not a lot, and we do live streams and we share our plans and we send you goodies and we have special channels on Discord we hang out in. It's just
Yep.
it's a community thing. So if you want to know all of our plans specifically, the Roadrunners know.
Yep.
So you can join there and find out.
If you'd like to know what we're doing over the next couple days, we are taking the kids to Legoland on Friday. Tomorrow. We met some people the other day and they have connections with Legoland and they offered us tickets. So happy Christmas to us. We're going to go to a Christmas Day buffet in Orlando at one of the fancy hotels there. Just because, again, same thing with like Thanksgiving. If you watch for Thanksgiving, we
really enjoyed not cooking.
yeah, it was nice to not
Making
cook.
a huge mess.
And it's just the 5 of us.
Yeah.
And so, you know, the kids don't eat all the foods that Brian and I like, and I like all the sides, and so we're going to a buffet.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be beautiful and decorated and wonderful, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And
And then we will share a little bit about 2022 in our January 1 video.
Yeah.
But if you want specifics, gotta be a Roadrunner. All right,
Alrighty.
last question.
oh, last question. I'm not even close to being done
No,
wrapping
I'm
presents.
gonna leave you and you'll speed up a lot.
Okay.
All right, so last question is, I don't know how people like do these videos and read names. So it's Matt MLMLML.
Okay.
So is he a Murloc? He's like,
Do you know what a Murloc is?
All right, what 2022 destination or experience that you want to do is eluding you, and what didn't make the cut?
So one of the things that didn't make the cut for the second time in a row is Lake Tahoe.
Yeah.
We couldn't go the first time because our truck couldn't get there. You have to go way back to find out all of our truck issues
the great
back
truck.
in 2018, 2019.
Great Truck had some issues.
And this year we aren't going to be able to make it just because of the pace at which we're traveling, and it's
way out of the way.
It's way out of the way.
Yeah.
I would really like to go to Lake Tahoe, so maybe Brian and I'll just fly there for our 20th anniversary. Who knows? Another destination that's eluding us? Going to Banff, and what else is up there by Banff that I want to go to? Where Lake Moraine is, up
that
in
Jasper?
Alberta. Jasper, Banff, and those places.
Yeah.
It's just too far out of the way this year. We wouldn't make it
And-
back to Florida until November if
And
we
we
went
can't
up.
and we can't really commit to that because the border keeps opening and closing.
Right.
We don't want to be up there and then have it close back down. And
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's provisions for people getting back across, but
Yeah.
it's just now is not the time.
Now is not the time.
So. it's
So that's
all
the
right.
destination that's eluding us.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was the last question.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm going to close this. And
40-minute long video. Yeah.
yeah, I need to go home and start editing.
Okay. This one's got to go up today.
It does. And you have
I have a lot of things to
a
still wrap.
lot to still wrap. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm going to get out of here, and you keep doing that.
Okay.
If you guys have more questions, keep them coming, and every once in a while we'll do a video like this. If there's super quick little answers, we'll answer them in the comments directly. Again, with Discord, we're on there all the time. People are asking questions all the time. There's 1,700 or 1,800 people on there now.
And it's pretty easy to use, so don't like
And it's free
just
too.
try it.
Like,
It's
there's
totally
no-
free.
There's
yeah.
no membership, there's no sign up, there's no extra stuff. It's basically just a big chat room organized into a bunch of different topics and categories. So if you ever did IRC back in the day, it's kind of like that.
Well, if they did IRC back in the day, they're not
probably
going to
already on
be
Discord.
worried about joining Discord. But if but you can do it.
Yeah.
It's very easy. It's very. I can do it. It's fine. It's good. It's good. It's
But
a
yeah,
good place to be, though.
There's a lot of people on there. There's a lot of great people on there.
And
answering.
even if you pop on and say, I'm new to this, I don't really know what I'm doing, there's going to be like 17 people that are going to be like, I can help you.
Right.
So,
Yep. Okay, so there's one more day of Vlogmas left, and I'm getting a little nervous about it.
yeah, because we haven't started it. Well, I've compiled.
Well, and we're going to
And-
be gone this evening. We're going to be gone all day tomorrow.
It's going to be all right. We're going to make it happen.
Says the one that doesn't do the editing.
It's going to be all right.
Alrighty, so day 23, just one day left.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining us for Vlogmas.
Yeah.
And like I said, if you have any more questions, let us know wherever you are, and we'll answer them at some point eventually.
Thanks.
Right?
Yeah.
All right.
See you
Bye,
tomorrow.
guys.
Bye.